Welcome to this week's episode of Business Solutions, where we talk about solutions created by businesses on formed lifestyles. And so today we are joined by a marketing expert who is going to explain to us how businesses, and specifically MSMEs, can transform leads to prospects and potential customers for the business, of course, to grow the number of revenue and profits. Welcome so much, Madam Bilha, to this interview. Maybe you can just introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you do.
Thank you so much for having me here, Kingsley. And you called me an expert.
Yes, you're an expert.
Yeah. I'm an expert in the hospitality industry. Mm-hmm. And I'll just put this out here at the beginning that marketing is fairly new to me, but I do have an interesting perspective to marketing now because of my background in hospitality operations. So I've kind of changed or pivoted my career into marketing, where now I'm a director of marketing at the Tamarind group, and now sort of also being able to see the intersections between operations and marketing, which has really given me a broader perspective, a more interesting perspective, and even a perspective that adds so much more value to our organization. Okay,
so you just came from the coastal town now to Nairobi. How the transition been for you?
Oh, I miss Mombasa.
I think it's because of the industry you're working in.
Yes, it's the industry, but also the lifestyle there is great. So I kind of miss it, but my career progress needed me to move to Nairobi. So glad to be here. It's a lot more vibrant, and also I've experienced a lot more growth here in Nairobi.
Yeah, I would really say that you've gotten the gist of beating traffic. You're good in it. So marketing in business it is quite dynamic now with the evolution of technology coming to the digital marketplaces. I totally understand the shift that marketers are having to move from the low seasons and the high seasons, and how to enable how business are going to run into profits. And I just want to throw this to you: how best can MSMEs understand their customers' demographics and psychographics through their database?
That's a really good question, and really I think that's a starting point. Yeah. And most organizations already have data. You have some form of data that you work with. True. So start there. Start with what you have, and based on the information and the data that you have already, what kind of patterns can you see? What kind of trends, what kind of behavioral patterns do you see? Because when you start with the information that you already have, then when you move to the next step, which is probably investing in tools, such as CRMs, reservation systems, when it comes specifically to hospitality, even AI tools, and I'll speak to that in a bit. If you haven't started by knowing exactly what you have, by knowing and understanding the data that you already possess as an organization, you'll run into the risk of overspending in systems that you probably don't need. So start with what you have. Get to know your customers with the data you already possess. And with that, you're now better able to invest in tools and in systems
that are going to pose more profits for your business.
Yes, and that are going to add value to you as a business leader, that will give you information about your clients, about in our case, your guests. Pardon me, I'll keep referring to hospitality yes, and restaurants.
I get you.
Yeah, so it actually, something that's coming to mind is a tool that I came across recently. It's a company called SOS Networks, and they have this AI solution that helps businesses to understand their customers by implementing the AI tool. So basically, they have what do you call them? Cameras, cameras that you can install at the access points of your business, and mainly even like retail. It works really well for retail or restaurants, and it picks out the
image of the customer.
Yes, Of course, they follow the data protection laws and everything. It's all in place, but they can now pick out, and even the AI can now identify
who this customer is,
the age as well. you know. So of course gender is that's fairly direct, but age, it can, you know, and now you start getting data that says, oh, between this time to this time we're getting women age this to this. So you can really now begin to make decisions that add value to your company.
Wow, I think that is really quite new. And I just want you to understand then what ways can MSMEs develop their customer data to inform decisions, especially decisions for the business?
Yeah, that's a good question. How do you develop your customer data to so sort of just going back to what I said is collect the information. Like I feel that sometimes we run so fast into making decisions, but we don't have the information. So collect adequate information. Data is king. I mean, right now,
data is king.
It's king. It's like fuel. You know, it's gold. So without the data, without a clear way of collecting the data, then decision making really can't happen. And in addition to that, is your data clean? You know, is there regular database cleanups? Audit the data, and that would really help an organization to make decisions.
For us, we have this focus for small businesses, maybe an under 50 million turnover kind of a business, where they will forgo such kind of tools to inform decisions on collecting data, forgo such kind of collection of data to inform their decision. And now you see them making rash decisions on some critical issues that they have to do. And because this kind of business are the ones that are going on the go, they're always on the go. Maybe just come and pass by something, pick a laptop, pick a phone, and don't care about who has come, who has not come. How can they try to rush from this analogy now to focus on the importance of data? You've mentioned data is king, and when you disrupt a king, then the kingdom stumbles down. How then can they focus on being keen on this data and to change their mind from focusing on the go basis by informing their decisions on this data that they have collected?
So Kingsley, what you find now is that there's a lot of tools that can be used. The cost element is catered for now because there's the more expensive solutions, and there's, you know, even free solutions that you can use,
that you can, to collect data.
So it cuts across. I really feel like we live in a time where there's no excuses, you know. So one other thing I would do is run a Pareto analysis and just see, you know, who are giving us, you know, value and most of our revenue, and begin to analyze from that. So if you're a business that feels like maybe you don't have time, you don't have the capacity to really assess all your data or all your clients, just assess the top 20. You know, just assess the ones that are, you know, have significant value to your business. And as you grow, you can continue to expand that 80-20 to a broader client base.
I hear you. And now, so we are coming from collecting data from these customers that are giving us profits to now building a relationship to these businesses. And now I just wish to pause then, since most businesses operate on the go basis, how can MSMEs develop legacy customer relationships with these people whom you've already mastered and seen what they need and what they require? Well, for me at Tamarind Group, legacy customers, legacy guests are really at the heart of our business. We are a business that has been in operation for about 50 years, and we rely on and have built great relationships with our guests. Almost too personal sometimes. But personal business relationships. And how have we achieved that? Because those are who we call legacy customers. How have we achieved that? I'd say one is really personalizing our communication. So, and personalized communication would be very different industry to industry. Yeah, true.
So, I mean, if you're in manufacturing, you probably don't even have direct access to your customer, right? But just maybe homing into my industry, personalized communication is addressing someone by name, is remembering, say for instance, if we have a briefing, we know that this guest is a repeat guest. We have photos of them. We understand their preferences. So when we're communicating with them, it's really personalized. And as I said, this may vary from industry to industry. The other thing that could work perhaps for a different industry is things like a loyalty program, because the loyalty program, again, going back to data, brings us to a point where we understand what this person or this demographic really likes, what they are using, their habits, their patterns. And now, rather than selling to you something that I know you never consume, I could have something more targeted towards you. And so loyalty programs also play a key role in building legacy customers, because they have that personalized touch to them. What else can I talk about? I think resolving issues. Your swiftness, how swift are you to resolve issues, to execute excellent customer service. At the end of the day, these cut across. Doesn't matter the industry, doesn't matter the business. Is your service on point? Are you solving problems? Are you resolving them? And in addition to that, just looking at how businesses are run, just investing in a culture that has every team member, every employee that is being invested in customer service. Yeah, because sometimes we leave that to certain departments or to certain roles, but when organizations, small organizations, large organizations, this really cuts across. When they invest in building a culture of, I call it, I am my own CEO. I am the CEO of me.
Someone else's business.
Yeah, I am the CEO of me. In terms and looking at that from a customer service perspective.
Yeah.
So in this moment that I am selling this product, I am the one responsible for this guest. So I have the responsibility to ensure that this guest is satisfied. I resolve their problems.
And just to hear you, I think nowadays I've come across a shop where I went to purchase something, and then after that they recorded my mobile number because I had paid through M-Pesa, and so after that they were able to send me SMS in a personalized way that we have this new product in the market, we have this in the market. And just echoing what you've mentioned, how you also make that understood with your employees, being the CEO of themselves in a way that they sell what they believe in.
Yeah.
And I think I really buy into that, and most MSMEs should consider this, because you find yourself walking into perhaps a movie shop. Let me talk about movie shop, and even the employee who is there is not even invested into the kind of whatever thing they are trying to sell.
Yeah.
And these are the customer experiences that we are talking about. And
and if I may add into that is, you see, you have to also, as a leader, or as a business owner, you have to lead from the front when it comes to this.
True.
Yeah, because if you're seated in the office and you have no idea what your front of house employees go through dealing with customers, then this is not something you can just drum down. Customer service, you have to lead by example. You have to be at the front every now and then, not always, but every now and then, and sort of get it, what's going on the floor.
And these are now the brand identity. I believe at Tamarind, a guest is pleased by the service they offered, and they can give you 5-star because of the kind of experience they underwent. And that now builds on brand identity, which most MSMEs are onboarding into the digital space now, just to move from maybe personalized interaction now to the digital space, which is also part of marketing. And it is now coming at a time when it's plagued with a lot of cons and mistrusts, depending on the kind of experiences they have witnessed or gone through. So how then should these businesses build themselves to develop trust and great customer brand experience? Maybe you could just give an example of how you guys do it and now generalize it.
Oh gosh, that is hectic in this day and age.
True.
Right? Because I mean, I've definitely suffered a few blows here and there online. And you see, the online space is where for restaurants, for instance, where people make decisions about where to go. So if our online presence is not good or is shabby, we will not get business. People will not, you see, people make decisions now based on their online presence. So building trust in your digital space is critical. So if I could give an example, for instance, we use TripAdvisor for clients, yes, especially foreigners. And so you get a few bad reviews. The impact there can be really damaging. However, to answer the question, one of the ways to build trust is to have that transparency, is not to remove, there's businesses that remove the negative reviews. I don't really agree with that, because trust in the digital space requires an element of transparency, authenticity. So I think you don't need to show perfection. Yeah, the market today and the market of the future really identifies with authenticity.
What is real and
what
genuine?
Is real? Yeah, we struggle sometimes. Today we are up, tomorrow we are down, but we are still pushing.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, and I think so many businesses hide from that to show perfection. Then where are we coping from to know the ideal? Because it's like there's an ideal somewhere that we're all looking for or looking forward to, that we have to hide the bad reviews that we're having as a business.
Exactly. So just being transparent is really helpful, but also maintaining a professional digital appearance is key, and being active with your responses. Don't let comments lag for too long without feedback. And I think for me, just my operations background has put me in a position of understanding really the seamless integration between online interactions and now the actual service delivery when the clients are in the organization. So that trust in the digital space is really a key touch point into the guest experience.
Okay.
Yeah. So something that I would say that businesses need to really be keen on.
I hear you, and that's mind-blowing to hear. And you've mentioned on communications, where a review, or rather a question on a comment section, should not stay for quite some time without being answered. It means, or rather it implies, laxity or unprofessionalism in the business. And now we're coming on to market communications. Then when should small businesses rely on above the line market communications in spite of cost implications?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think we kind of bash this ATL. But there's space for them. There's space for that platform. And in the hospitality industry, above the line marketing solutions are quite effective, especially for major events, for launches. So really, even rebranding is for a small business. Yeah, rebranding, the times you want to change things, and you look at who do you want to target? Is it a mass market target? And if it is, then that's ATL is a good way to go. Whereas digital marketing may be more cost effective, traditional media can still play a significant role in things like building awareness and also reaching a broader audience. And one thing I would also recommend for this, and I've also done it, is using barter trade, with the companies, because that helps. First of all, it helps you with your cash flow management, and you still the organization, the media house still gains value, and you still gain the value that you want. So that's a little tip I would propose to work on it. Especially when you're struggling with revenue or just the cost element of it. To maybe clear
up, above the line means using social media platforms, perhaps print, that is newspaper, radio and TV, to reach a wider audience for your products that you're selling. And there are three categories. That's above the line. Do we have below the line? Before we get into that, then way that small businesses can convert traffic. So you've gone to the above the line. You've had so many people coming on board. You have inquiries. Where are you located? You have leads. How much is this product? People are coming in your comment section. What are the reviews of this particular product or service that you've had to leads?
Yeah.
Now those are leads now.
Yeah.
Now you push them now to customer, to prospects, people who are potential to buy this product, and now from being potential to now buying, becoming a buyer or a customer for the business through innovative marketing strategies in the digital marketing space.
Your questions are so good.
When you have Bilha, you have to be top notch.
So what I've come to learn is that your call to actions are critical. So whatever messaging you're putting across, is there a call to action? And the call to action is sign up, is enroll, download, reserve. So is there the clarity of the call to action has to be there. And you talk about innovation around this, and it makes me think of a company that I've interacted with. It's called Sukiba. And I mean, there's several others that do this. And what Sukiba does is they have innovatively worked on how we can interact with clients on WhatsApp, for instance. So rather than just sending a WhatsApp broadcast, which is what to so many people, which is fine, but that WhatsApp broadcast doesn't have a call to action. So this platform, and that's why I find it quite innovative, is that you can buy now. And so they've now integrated with payment platforms to be able to complete a transaction.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So it prompts you to your phone?
Yes. And it's not, I've seen now another company is called BIM that does the same thing. And so now you're sending this WhatsApp broadcast or community message on WhatsApp, but there's a call to action. So it doesn't just sit there as another flyer that you got. It's a flyer with click and reserve, or click and buy now. So these are the kind of ways I think that we can have innovative ways of converting our leads to.
Oh my God, that's mind blowing. How many emails do you receive per day, perhaps, or even weekly basis on a company launching a new product or a new service they have? But it is just information. Then what next?
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, there's so much that you get that is just saying, "Oh, we do this, we do that." Okay. So
what?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And I'm thinking, an MSME now will say, maybe to get this, the company that you've mentioned, it will be cost pinching to me, that I have maybe to dish some dollars to have this onboarded in my business for a particular period. And just as we mentioned, these are businesses which are running with in small how much money that is getting. So how will businesses do this?
With clarity of goals is important. So just understanding your goal, as Simon Sinek says, start with why. Yeah, so just clarity of goals is important. And then, understanding your industry, understanding the space that you're working in. Again, just going back to my industry, is we work with about a 3% to sales budget for marketing. So start with that. Have a percentage of revenue to marketing, and then work around that. Yeah.
Don't sideline budget for the marketing.
No.
I feel like most businesses have put marketing as a plan B when the business does not thrive.
No, yeah. You see, most industries have a general percentage that marketing takes. And I think I've seen, as I was just reading, I've seen, maybe 5 to 10 for other business, but for us about 3%. Yeah. So you need to know that figure for your industry.
Okay.
And then lastly, for what I'd also recommend, and this for me was a key lesson over COVID, is really just maintaining flexibility in budgeting. Yeah. Just keep your budget flexible. As we're recording this, it's a Thursday. We know what's happening in this country.
I know, understand.
So, and I also work in an industry that's really that's just easily affected by any changes in our economy, in just around us. And so maintaining flexibility in budgeting is also a key thing. Yeah.
And now, just to wrap up, then how can MSMEs rather incorporate a consistent marketing budget? Because that's where we were going now. You've said that you put marketing budget percentage-wise, keep it consistent year on year. But you find that the sales normally dwindle. This year are better than compared year. Will you have to scrap off a certain percentage?
No, that's why we're working on a percentage to net sales.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what you work with. Yeah. So I mean, and I see this a lot. Is it's this amount. No, it's not about the amount. It's based on sales. So if it's business is low, then your marketing will be affected in a certain way.
I just wish to throw you under the bus. Just a little. Allow me to.
Sure.
Branding for a particular business is quite an issue now, where there's a lot of duplication from what other businesses are doing. There's lack of authenticity that you're mentioning, and you can find that most MSMEs, in as much as maybe there's no new thing to do despite innovation, you'll find that maybe Tamarind will not be far from what perhaps Hilton or Radisson Blu does, just the same services, but how the package is now different, which comes in branding. How can effectively MSMEs do the branding so that it doesn't look like it's a duplicate, but they experience the individual experience compared to this other one?
Yeah. So you need to understand your product and what is the unique thing about your product. Because when you get that, you customize what you do around that. And it just goes back to how we started this conversation. You already have data. Your business has been running for a period of time. So what works? I just find that sometimes people don't understand their business, in a granular way. Just really understand and really say that my market is women age 30 to 38. And those are facts that I have extracted, so now I am targeted. I'm able to target my product, which is a fairly similar product to my competitor, but my competitor's audience may be different. So that clarity of understanding is really important. And then the other thing is that I can't emphasize enough right now is leveraging AI.
You actually want to mention AI.
Yeah, leveraging AI, because this is the future. And like it's commonly said, AI will not take all our jobs, but AI will take the jobs of people that don't use AI. Yeah. So it probably means that I'm, let me try and think of something. I have a friend that does art, AI art, and that's his business. So he is also an artist. He draws. So what does it mean for him in his small business? It means he can still draw, but he can still do AI art. So he can sell both. Now, the drawn, the one that takes more of his effort can be more costly, but it also takes him more time. But the AI art, for instance, that he churns out so fast. So he builds volume through that one, while he still continues with this other one for the clientele that wants the hand-drawn, the one that has his kind of direct hands on it. Yes. So leveraging AI and this is easy. This is not, you see, we need to debunk the fact that it's for IT people, or it's for those people who've done this, who understand it.
Software engineering.
Yes. Even if I could just leave one parting shot, is start to figure out what can AI do for your business? What can AI, how would I leverage AI in my business, in my role, in my front office, in my selling, POS, in whatever it may be.
HR system.
How? Just begin that curiosity. Sign up for the free, most of those platforms have, 30 months, 30 days free, and then, then you pay for it. Leveraging on such things now would go a long way and would begin to open up your mind to seeing the possibility in the future.
And we've turned your leads to prospects and prospects to clients with Bilha Mucuha, the general manager, general marketing manager.
No. I'm a director of marketing at Tamarind Group.
Director of marketing at Tamarind Group.
Yeah.
Done business solutions, where we create solutions, or rather find out solutions on MSMEs. Until next time, my name is Kingsley Oluoko.